All right, welcome back for example 2. Example 2 is about finding the surface area of a sphere. So the surface area of a sphere is 4 times the area of a great circle. And that's the formula here. So the area of a great circle, so remember what the great circle is, right? It's here, it's a circle, and the area of that is pi r squared. The area, that base, that great circle, the base, I mean, they're talking about the area of the great circle, so they're talking about the area of this entire circle here. And the area of that circle is pi r squared, and they're saying that the surface area is 4 times the area of that circle. And that's what the surface area is. So here, we look at this sphere, we want to look at the surface area. That is like the distance all the way around. So if you had a ball and you were going to somehow try to wrap it with wrapping paper, how much wrapping paper would you need to wrap a ball? Which is a difficult thing to do. But yeah, just that whole thing around the surface, it's the area of the surface. So we use this formula. Surface area equals 4 pi r squared. The radius is 2, so you substitute 2 in for the radius. 2 squared is the same thing as 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So that's 16 pi, and then if you go 16 times 3.14, you get 50.3 units, which would be the approximate answer of the surface area. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to do this on our own. So we're going to find the surface area both in terms of pi and to the nearest tenth. Okay, so terms of pi, so find the surface area in terms of pi and to the nearest tenth, use 3.14 for pi. Perfect, okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The surface area equals 4 pi r squared. Right here it says the radius is 4. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute that in. 4 squared is the same thing as 4 times 4, which is 16. And then I'm going to go 16 times 4, which ends up being 4 times 6 is 24. Right, the 4 carry the 2. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 2 is 64. So 64 pi is the answer in terms of pi. And its area, it's millimeters, and its area, so surface area, so the answer would be squared. And then we want to determine what that is to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to go 3.14 times 64 and figure out what that is. 4 times 4 is 16, right? The 6 carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 4 times 3 is 12, and there's a 0. 4 times 6 is 24, right? The 4 carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 6 times 3 is 18. And yeah. Then we add 6, 9, 10. 8 plus 1 is 9, plus another 1 is 10. Right, the 0 carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then what do we have? We have 2 decimal places, so we'd have 2 decimal places here. And we'd round this to the nearest tenth. This is the tenth. We look here, and this would round this up to 0, which would round that up to 1. So our surface area is 201 millimeters squared. So those will be both of our answers. Okay, now it is your turn, ladies and gentlemen, to try this out. I want you to try B, this sphere here. Go ahead and find the surface area. Here's my friend the pause dragon. Remind you to pause your device. Go ahead and work out this problem. When you get done, press play and we'll do it together. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, let's see how you did. I'm going to go ahead and write down that surface area formula. The surface area is found by 4 pi r squared, and the radius is equal to 3. We substitute that in. 3 squared. 3 squared is the same thing as 3 times 3, which is 9. 9 times 4 is 36. Did I say 9 times 4 is 36? 36 pi. What are we talking about? Inches, and its area, so it's going to be inches squared. But we also want to find out what it is to the nearest tenth. So this would be in terms of pi, right? So I got to stick 3.14 multiply it by 36. 6 times 4 is 24. Write the 4, carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 2 is 8. 6 times 3 is 18. Go to the tens place. Got to put a 0 in the ones place. 3 times 4 is 12. Write the 2, carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. Then we add 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 2 is 10. Write the 0, carry the 1. 4 plus 8 is 12. Plus 1 is 12 plus 1. 12 plus 1 is 13. Write the 3, carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 1 is 11. 2 decimal places here, so we'd have 2 decimal places here. We'd round to the nearest tenth. We look at this. This is the tenths place, so we look at the hundredths. This is not 5 or above, so it does not round, so it stays the same at a 0, which means that the surface area is just 113 inches squared. So if you got both of those answers correct, yokodenki mashita, you did a wonderful job, and I'll see you in a little bit for example 3.